Hello, everybody. Welcome to session number 5 of the Athenaeum Tabletop campaign. We are right back diving into Starr's world. But before we do, let us go right into the warm-up question. So this is a warm-up question that I really enjoy asking throughout a campaign. My players tend to like this one a lot because it normally brings up some really interesting and insightful and fascinating things quite often. And so my question is, if hypothetically, in this moment in the story, if your character were to write in their diary, in their journal, or something to that effect, and you can decide if this is something that is actually canon or not, it doesn't matter to me, what would you write in your journal? And I'd normally tell players that this is meant to be an opportunity to bring up things that wouldn't come up in normal conversation or normal RPing, because this is more of something that you write for yourself and you're not necessarily like role-playing with another character. So who would like to go first?
So for Sam, I think because he takes a lot of notes anyhow, putting stuff down wouldn't be far-fetched for him anyhow. I think what the journey he's been on so far, he would note that at first he was very much disbelieving what was going on, but he's come to the realization that there are things he doesn't understand that he has to push through to get things back the way they were. I think he would call out the kind of bubbly, nonsensical realms of Gourmet City as being a good distraction from his everyday life. And the everyday life that he thought was tough and, very cynical about has some aspects of it that pale in comparison to what Frankie goes through on a daily basis. Because that world that Frankie is from is so much more dystopian, I think. But then he'd also note that he's starting to connect with the one person that he didn't think he would connect with as much, being Starr, which would be a surprise for him. So, yeah, I think that's what he'd journal mostly about for a day.
Starr's journal is gonna be like this. Dear Diary, there are so many things on our mind. Where do we start? With every passing moment, thoughts of you run through my head. Every time that I'm near you. This is a really good song, and I'm gonna table it for later. We're gonna talk to Energy about this. Topaz. Amethyst. This interesting journey has got me thinking about a lot of things in our lives. There's so much we haven't really done. There's so much we haven't explored. And that Black Bowder character has me concerned. I don't know what it is about him, but there's something off there. Perhaps we should consult with Sam. Maybe there we would get some answers. Sapphire. On this journey, I realize I'm really hungry, man. I haven't been eating. I feel like I'm wasting away. Bro, oh my God. Ruby. Oh, it's so good to be back with Stormy. Oh my God. I have missed him so much. And oh my God, girl, did you see his butt in those pants? Oh my God. It just made me think so much about that time. Amethyst. Ruby, don't finish that sentence. Someone can read this book and find out what we're all thinking. Really? Really, bitch? You just wrote about Black Powder. Sapphire. Bros, calm the hell down. Amethyst, get the stick out of your ass, because we're all thinking the same thing. Rhyolite. Okay, well, there's a lot of scary shit happening. We're all over the place. And truthfully, I just want to go home. I just want to wrap up in bed. I just want to watch dumb movies with Stormy and Energy and just forget about this whole journey, because honestly, I don't know what's going to happen next and I'm terrified. Starr, Well, I better wrap this up before we start to ramble. What the fuck was I writing?
First off, there's probably a lot of like black scribblings all over of like weird little dolls in the pages, and then eventually it says journal. Okay. Get this. I'm a bird now. Yeah, it's a long story. Anyway, journal. More importantly, I saw a zombie today, and that was kind of the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. But okay, I'm getting a little off track. What just happened? Frankie kind of crumbled there, and I have never seen someone as big as him just fall apart like that. And man, if Frankie can't protect us, then we're screwed. And I kind of royally fucked up our lead, and I feel bad about it. Every decision I've made hasn't helped the group in any capacity, and it's making me start to wonder if I'm even capable of bringing my sister back at this point. I don't know. And if even if I do bring her back, what's she going to say? It's my fault she got cast away in the first place. She may want nothing to do with me. And if that were to happen, it would destroy me. I don't know, journal. I don't know what to do. And then she'll just kind of leave it there.
Frankie would probably write like, "Dear Victor, after everything we went through, I know that I truly, truly, truly love you. And I owe this new group of friends so much for saving your life. I'm trying to get to know them better and understand what they're going through. Everyone is so different. Right now, I don't know what's happening to me. It's like I'm glitching or something. I feel like I'm losing control of myself, and I don't know why that is. I have to understand it. I don't want to let anyone down. I feel like you programmed me to protect, and that is my first instinct, is to take care of people. And if I cannot do that, who am I?
Well, I don't know why I'm doing this. I've never written anything down in my life. I don't even know when I learned how to write.
It's hypothetical. Yeah.
This has been one of the crazier adventures I've been on, for sure. That gourmet city place. Very bright, very loud. Not my type of place, but everyone else seemed to have some fun there. And I suppose in general this whole situation is just bizarre. Nothing too awful has happened yet, but I know how magic works enough to know that something bad is going to come around to us. Frankie seems like a sweet kid. Bit naive to the world, though. He'll probably have to face some harsh truths by the time this is all done. Tori's just reckless. Needs a good boot in the ass to get her in line. I don't know how to feel about Sam. He's too quiet and too perceptive to be trusted. And I just don't understand Starr. I don't understand what he is or who he is or how he works. I guess I'm not really supposed to. So far, everything's just been kind of a fun little distraction. Frankie's world was familiar enough. Starr's is just way too bright. Did meet a lovely girl named Taylor. She seems sweet. I hope she gets out of this okay, but that's not really my responsibility. Other than that, I suppose I'll just see where this goes. If things get too dangerous, I'll probably have to leave it to the younger kids to deal with. I have my own shit to think about. But for now, I'm just going to keep an eye and see if I can make it good with everybody for now. See where things go.
As a bonus, I would like for the 5 of you collectively to select any NPC that you want me to reveal what they would write in their journal. It does not have to be from this world. It can be from another. It can be from Frankie's world if you want. Any NPC you'd like.
Even those that we've never met.
Even those that you've never met.
I will say my personal vote is for Henry. I would really like a journal entry from Henry.
I mean, I would like to hear from Henry too, but I'm down for anything.
Either Henry or Stormy, honestly.
That's what I was going to say, Stormy.
I'm also not opposed to hearing what Sue's journal would say. Or Sue or B.
You could do Sue's journal. I would recommend... You can certainly do that. I would also just mention that I don't want to sway you one way or another, but you have easy access to Sue.
Okay.
But if you want to pick Sue, you can. Maybe because you travel with them, you might want to know what they're thinking.
So I would probably agree. I want to know what Henry's thinking.
Okay, so we have 2 for Henry. Do you have any? Sam, do you have any? Or Joe, do you have any?
Man, there's so many good ones, but yeah, I think Henry would be good. Otherwise, I would have said Felix.
Felix would be also
Felix
wonderful,
would be
too.
another good one.
I'm good with Henry.
The group decides. Henry? Okay.
Yeah, Henry.
Sure.
I want to say that things have gotten better since last time, and yeah, I think things have gotten better. The last time I was writing to you, I was talking about how messed up everything is. And I'm not talking about the world. I was talking about myself. Because of me, I hurt so many people. People that I loved. People that I cared for. And I really had nobody else to blame but myself. But Victor's back. We lost Agatha along the way. It's hard, you know, it's hard to celebrate these kind of things when there's so many losses, there's so many sacrifices that people make. I almost actually sacrificed myself today. And you'll be very surprised. The person who stopped me from throwing my life away was unexpected. It came from the most unexpected places. It was Frankie. I met a lot of really interesting people that made me think, people who brought me back, at least temporarily, to a time when things were simpler, when things were familiar, when things were a lot less violent and messed up. It felt like I was out playing with my friends. Just fooling around in the backyard, playing with our action figures. I miss those feelings, you know? And I know I probably am not going to see that for myself in my lifetime. But maybe, if things get better here, maybe I'll provide that for whoever the next generation will be. There's this one other person. I'm kind of embarrassed to talk about them. There's this girl. She's... I don't know. Every time I'm close to her, she just does something very... She's very disarming. It's like when I'm around her, you just can't help but feel like she's on your side, you know? She was wearing this really, really interesting armor the other day. I think she was more interested in showing it to Felix more than anything else. But now, I'm not sure. She was the only person who even bothered to talk to me, like really talk to me. Nobody's done that to me ever since Victor. And I've come to terms realizing that what Victor and I have, the friendship that we have, it's enough. It really is enough. And I have to, for everybody's sake, I have to set aside some feelings, not to bury them, but to use them to grow something else. And I think I'm ready for that. If we're going to be able to live in this world, we have to learn how to adapt. That's something that I learned from Frankie. He came into this world to be a machine, to be a weapon. But he decided that's not who he is. It was easier, if I was being honest, I think lately, over the last few months, I've been more of a machine and a weapon than even Frankie has been. I think it's time for me to choose to be something else. In the meantime, I think I probably should go talk to Felix, because he probably could use a friend. And even though I don't really think he's ever considered us friends, maybe he needs someone now. I'll talk to you later, diary. Henry.
Oh,
Wow.
That's good
that is
stuff.
amazing.
That was so good.
I love that, Hark. Like, I
you.
had that vision for Henry too, to be this dynamic character that grows and learns. So I think that's amazing.
Thank you. Cool. A little bit longer than anticipated, but I just kind of rattled off a whole bunch of things that I felt the character had in his head. So good. There we go. Which is neat, because when I'm editing videos from like session 2 or 3, I think, and everybody's like, I hate Henry. Like, Henry's gotta die. I could care less about Henry. And I'm like, just wait.
I know, it's like he's not really that bad. He's just kind of a little reckless too, right?
He is a reckless. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's get back into Starr's world. So
Frankie is still kind of recovering from the emotions of his fear, his phobia kicking in, and go to Come here, please.
Are you okay? I have never seen you like that, Frankie.
I don't know what came over me, to be honest. This sometimes happens. I don't know. Whenever I'm around death or someone who dies, it triggers, like it's like a glitch or something. I don't understand. But listen, I mean, watching you just run in, you have to understand that can be dangerous. It's reckless. And in that moment, he like pauses and like looks up and is like, you are 17, going on 18, evil will fall in line. Better beware, be canny and careful, darkness could cloud your mind. Totally unprepared are you to face the world of death. Reckless and blind and rushed are you, of things beyond your breath. You need someone older and wiser, keeping an eye on you. I am 19, going on 20. I'll watch after you.
I am 17, going on 18, and you don't know shit. People I meet may tell me to smile, they don't know when to quit. Totally unprepared for death, you know that it's my fave. Must I remind you, you're that guy who cried among the graves. I need someone bolder and braver if we're to make it through. You are 19, going on 20. Stop being so blue. And she crosses her arms and
That's
kind of looks at
amazing.
him. I think normally there would be a musical break at the song, but she's not dancing. It kind of ruined the mood.
That's amazing. Maybe Frankie's about to go in to dance, and then she's like, "No, that's where I stop."
Frank is like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know where this came from.
Me either.
I'll leave you alone." And he goes and sulks after being burned as badly as that, because that is definitely something Tori would just like clap back. And he's just like, let's go meet with the others now, please.
Yeah. Okay, but Frankie, we can't tell them what actually happened. We have to come up with a lie.
Definitely not telling them what happened.
Yeah, no. Head back.
We could say we missed him. We got here, but nobody was here.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
Okay.
Being burned in song is the worst type of burn.
I know.
That was great, guys. That was
Sweet. That was amazing.
So much
was
life.
Alex's
That was
idea.
so well done. Whose idea was it? Oh, that was
Genius.
such a great idea. And then the lyrics were just, mwah. The lyrics were so good. Yes, thank you for going the extra mile, everybody. That was wonderful. Can't wait to edit it all in.
Okay. Starr has gotten off the phone. And BP, you'll notice that his wings are they're primarily green at this point because he's like racked with fear. And Star's gonna look at you and his eyes look more green and he'll be like, BP, we need to go home. I need to go home, like, now.
All right. We can go home. What happened?
He like looks really distressed and he says, the unthinkable. Please,
All right.
let's just go.
Let's get you in the car and get home.
So Starr will nervously drive home.
Starr's strange world. It's not Frankie's. It's not as tragic. Missing friends. Are they using magic? The music's gone. And now we're here. To Starr we're drawn. If we crack this case, can we be put back in our place? Yeah, I know. We all change. Each place, it seems so strange. Beyonce, is she to blame? We'll have to be the bait in this game. In this game, yeah, Starr will be singing. Reggie's hands, you know they are ringing. But when in Rome, do what you do to get back home. Sing with Starr, scare with Tori, love with Big Frankie, and change like sous vide. Smile, Reggie, just for today. Maybe tomorrow we'll find the next doorway.
I had a hard time coming up with that one.
That's good.
I
Amazing.
love
You're getting
it.
better.
I like
Yeah.
Joe, look at me. Look at Micah. That shit gave me life. My life expectancy went up 35% because of you. Be proud of yourself, okay?
what I love the most about the music and the song choice is that because it's very fitting for Starr's world because I can see that as a soap opera-ish kind of and by soap opera I mean like what you would listen to on a radio. That's amazing. I love it.
That's what I kept going back to was the radio programming. So initially,
Right.
the lyrics I wrote actually to go with "Dream On" by Aerosmith,
No.
Oh.
but it just didn't fit Sam being in Starr's world. So I was like, no, we got to change it. So
I love it. Sweet. Thank you so much for putting that together, Joe. Awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and fast forward to everybody eventually arriving or reconvening at Starr's apartment.
Okay, once Starr is in his apartment, he's gonna when he comes in, his wings are green, hair is mainly green, and he looks rattled.
And I think Stormy, he's preparing lunch, and it's probably like one of your favorite meals. So what would be like if he was trying to make something that he knows that you like and enjoy for lunch, what would he be making for you?
Tacos.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Once Starr smells the tacos, it'll be kind of like a balm to his soul. It'll make him feel a little better, but he's still freaking the heck out. So he'll be like, Stormy, where are you?
Sweetheart, what's wrong? He puts down the spatula that he had in his hand. And he's got like a cute little apron, like a cute little pink apron around his waist right now. And of course it says kiss the cook. Of course it does.
Starr will walk and be like, your apron is really cute. But Stormy, something, they have her. They have her.
Ooh.
Lady Matilda, Shepherd called me, she's missing. She's missing. This is not happening. This is not happening. Not her. Of all. Stormy, please hold me. I'm about to go crazy.
He immediately starts to go into your arms, and he'll clutch you very tightly, and you can hear his heart beating because he seems to also be reacting to the news as well, and he's just trying to like soothe you as much as he can with his strong, very protective arms. Do we have any ideas as to who did this? Stormy asks.
Starr, Shepard called me and said she's missing. Stormy, I feel like I can't breathe. Not my mom. It can't be.
Don't worry, we'll get to the bottom of this.
So Starr is like really like, it's like an ugly cry. So you guys are seeing Starr like the whole facade of confidence, all that's out the window. Starr is boo-hooing and being like, we have to find her. We have to find her. We need to do whatever we can to find her.
We will, he says, and he's just going to be like stroking your hair as comfortingly as he can.
Frankie will walk up and put his hand on his shoulder. And do we know anything about when she disappeared? We'll help however we can.
Yeah, what details were you able to get?
My friend Shepard just said she was missing. Energy. Please, call Shepard.
Calling Shepard right now. And then Shepard will pick up. Hello? Hey, Starr?
Shep, you need to come to my apartment, and whatever information you had on Lady Matilda, bring it with you. I need you here, like now.
Sure. I'll be right there. You holding up okay?
No.
That's a stupid question. I'll be there as soon as I can.
From that point, Starr will be just like, I need to sit down. Like, I just need a minute to ourselves. So Starr will walk over to the couch and they'll split up. Like, they'll all split up. And the one who'll be in the center is Rhyolite. And Rhyolite is like the most sharpest green you've ever seen. Like the hair, eyes, wings. Like, it's just like, almost like the green is almost painful to look at. And Amethyst will say to Rhyolite, we have to remain calm. We have friends now. They could help us. We can solve this mystery. And Mother Matilda, Lady Matilda she'll be all right, Rhyolite. It's all right. Just focus on the here and now. And Rhyolite, they took her. They'll take us. They'll take all of us. We're going to die. We're all going to die. There's no coming back.
We're not going to let that happen.
That's not going to happen.
Rhyolite will be like, how do you know? How do you know? Have you been hunted and afraid to set foot outside to let people see what's in? Do you know what it's like to feel fear, no hope? We can't even let our marriage be known. They're going to kill my mom. She's going to die. And we are powerless to help her. We can't do anything.
That's why we're here.
Frankie will reach over to him and get really low so he doesn't feel like he's towering, and hold his hand and you know what we went through in my world. I know exactly how you feel. You have to have faith. And with us here, remember how you helped me. We will help you the same. Don't lose hope, please.
Rhyolite will nod his head and just like take a slow, deep breath. And Sapphire is looking more red than usual. Sapphire is pissed. And so Sapphire is like, those bitches took our mom. What did she do to anybody? All she's ever done was look out for us. All she did was protect me. The moment she realized I had any type of musical talent, her one priority is to make sure we didn't have magic. We didn't even think we had magic. This is all of our fault. We're responsible for this. Because if she had never found this, she would never be in this situation. This is so not fair. And so Ruby will fly off. Like Ruby is just, he's out of the room. So he's not even there anymore.
So your mom knew that you had magic, your musical magic. Did your mom have musical magic?
Amethyst will look at Sam and say, no, she didn't. And honestly, our magic didn't come into play until he'll look at Stormy much later in life. We thought we were in the clear, honestly. We never thought we would ever possess any type of musical talent, magical musical talents. We just thought we were a regular bloke. And honestly, Lady Matilda, she was musically gifted with the harp, but honestly, we never knew she had magic. We would have known this. She would have told us. Because she was so dead set on keeping us out of this lifestyle. Honestly, I'm lost, mate. I'm lost.
Well, we'll help get to the bottom of it.
As hard as it might be, the best thing to do right now is to stay calm. Getting panicked will only make things worse, all right? Clear heads can think a plan. Now, we did get some information about what's been going on. We know that Davy Deal's bloke is involved somehow, which we know has a connection to you. And bear in mind, this isn't your fault. It's the fault of the people who are doing this. Has nothing to do with you. They're the ones choosing to go down a bad road.
Sapphire will nod and say, bros, if we just pull ourselves together and we listen to our squad, I promise we'll be all right. I need to go get Sapphire and let's just pull ourselves together. He'll look directly at you, Black Powder, and be like, thanks, man. And he'll like pat you on the shoulder and he'll pat everyone else, like just saying like thank you as he's going after Sapphire is going after Ruby to bring him back. But for right now, Starr, the other like Topaz and Amethyst are just like sitting there trying to console Rhyolite, while Rhyolite's still kind of like freaking the hell out. And Rhyolite will look at Stormy and say, do you think we'll get her back?
Absolutely. We will not rest until we get Lady Matilda back. Don't worry. And in the meantime, I will be staying very close to you, because there is no way I'm keeping you out of my sight.
Rhyolite will smile and say, that's what we need. We just need you. And he'll like clutch at Stormy's shirt, because it's like he's still wrecked with fear, because this is pure fear. So we just need you, and we'll find her. We will find her. And you'll notice the green it's still bright, but it's not as bright. Like it's starting to dim down a little bit. And Sapphire will come back with Ruby, and then they'll all like pull themselves back together, and then you'll see Starr as they are with pink hair and hazel eyes, and say, so what do we do now? What information did you guys get while we were all off on our journey?
Well, Reginald, why don't you start?
We did learn that David Deals had been visiting the Albatross group before they went missing. So, and Starr, you believe that you said that David Deals lad is involved in that same show we think is a connection?
Of course he is. He's his biggest sponsor.
Well, I'd say that just kind of doubles down on that maybe having an influence. Definitely think it has something to do with it at least. Other than that, though, that was probably the most pertinent information we got.
Frankie, how about you and Tori? What did you find?
Frankie looks at Tori like,
We didn't find anything. The psycho murder unicorns weren't there.
Do you want to roll a bluff? Tori.
Yeah.
Half
Go
a
ahead,
lot
roll.
lighter. Can I check to see if they're lying?
Could I assist her in some way?
You can go ahead and
Um,
roll your deceptions or bluffs.
I don't know.
I think
where-
I might have a bit of a penalty to this too.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just gonna roll IQ.
Sure.
I've got a +2 to detect lies.
Ooh.
Hey, I rolled pretty well, so.
You did
Yeah,
roll
you
pretty
did.
well. So
Penalty, but
Oh
I
my
don't.
god!
Yeah.
I can't believe
If
I
I do
asked
a
you to
straight
tell a
up
lie.
bluff,
now you would know that, yeah.
but I got a 6 out of 12, so I don't know how much
Yeah.
Frankie helps.
Yeah, so I mean that means you still succeed. So instead of a 12, it's because you have to beat a 7, so you got a 6.
Yeah.
Frankie will assist a bit. However, even with that, Joe's still going to be able to discern that. Yeah, you're kind of not telling the whole truth there.
I'm just gonna give him a little thumb on the nose and indicate I know, but I'm not gonna press him here yet. Say, well, maybe later I'll talk to you two about how to shadow people a little better. Let's make sure we get a moment to really talk about shadowing.
Okie dokie.
What about you, Sam? Did you find anything?
Well, Veed and I, we caught up to something really, really strange. I gotta say, with that Mariah, it wasn't like with Frankie when the sound was going off and making you act against your will. She was like blank. She was like not all there. Even when I tried to, block anything out, whatever's happened to her, it isn't like what happened to Frankie, but it was really weird. However, she got out of being kidnapped and not being around, she wasn't able to give us any information on the rest of her bandmates, where she was, really even who she was. So whatever's going on, it's nothing with any type of industry, technology, nothing like that. Definitely out of my realm on that.
Starr will say, so you found Mariah, because we saw her in the news report, and she wasn't herself. We need to find Matilda now. What time is the show?
It's going to be later that afternoon, so 3-ish. It's probably like around noon-ish, 1 o'clock. So maybe in about roughly 2 hours. There will now be a knock on the door.
Okay, Starr will get up and let's say, and he'll sit back down and say, Energy, can you get the door, please?
Of course, Starr, sir. And Energy will go ahead and leave the room. And then a few moments later, you will see a very crestfallen shepherd enter in. He's normally in such high spirits, but you can tell that he's got very heavy weight on his shoulders. And he just kind of says, "Hey, everyone. I'm not really sure how much help I can be, Starr, but I did a search around the hotel room where Matilda was staying while she was here, and the whole place was just completely ransacked. Like, overturned furniture. There looked like it was some sort of a struggle. But I only was able to find these two things. So he basically has a sheet of paper that seems to have Lady Matilda's handwriting on it. And then it almost looks like a piece of parchment paper, but it's like wrinkly and it's got a very like specific pattern on it. So you can examine either item.
I will. I'll do a forensic check on him.
Go ahead.
11 out of 15, yeah.
Okay. Well, first we'll start with the letter. or not the letter, but the document. It looks like a list of genres, but right next to the genres, it has these other words that may or may not seem familiar to certain characters. So next to pop, it says evocation/invocation. Next to rock is enchantment/charm. Next to country is illusion/phantasm. Next to rap and hip hop is conjuration and summoning. Next to classical is abjuration. Next to death metal is necromancy. Next to soul and R&B is divination. And next to jazz is alteration transmutation. That's all that's written in the piece of paper. As for the other item that looks sort of like parchment paper, it's not. It actually, believe it or not, is a piece of a long, it's like narrow and long, a long, narrow piece of snake skin.
All right, for the paper, I'm going to actually hand it to Tori and just tell her, aside from the music and illusion, the rest of it's not really my thing. Let me know if you can make any sense of this. And snake skin, I want to ask Starr if he knows anything with either Davy Deals or anybody who works in snakes.
Frankie will go over with Tori as well and like kind of over her shoulder look at the parchment and immediately looks at the death metal, sees that and kind of like elbows Tori a little bit like, the death metal necro.
Yeah, I don't know if she wants to admit to.
I know he
seeing the
just kind of
necromancy.
whispers it. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
she's
he doesn't hide. Like it's hard for him to hide stuff. So I don't know if anybody like picks up on his little thing. But like he's just, this is the wrong. Like these two are the wrong to keep us secret.
I'll study this a little bit more, Sam. I haven't seen anything like this before.
Roll me a. Do you have a? What roll do you use to cast your magic again? I forgot. Is it just a straight up IQ, or do you have an actual magic roll?
It's IQ +3, basically.
Okay, go ahead and roll your IQ +3. Just.
So 8 out of 15.
Okay, so Tori, you just know innately that evocation invocation is a lot of the like of offensive type of almost elemental type of magic. So fireballs, lightning bolt, star storm, as not star storm, but like the thing that Starr uses, starburst. That's evocation and invocation. Enchantment and charm, I'm assuming, is straightforward. Illusion and phantasm, I'm assuming straightforward. Conjuration, summoning, so that's obviously like summoning something from somewhere else or conjuring something from nothing. Abjuration is more protective spells, like, you know, shield, mage armor, you know, reflect, that kind of stuff. Necromancy, I think, is pretty straightforward. Divination, I think, is pretty straightforward. And then alteration and transmutation is, again, like transfiguration, like transforming one thing into another thing. Turning someone into a toad, for example, or turning metal into gold. That's another, like, popular use of that type of magic. But that's, right now, I'm just giving it to you, so you can decide if you want to tell anyone else what that means.
Yeah, I'll relay that information to the group. You know, we've seen some of this before, you guys. Some of this isn't new. I haven't seen the necromancy before, though.
And Starr, you know, for example, that Beyonce is a rock. Her type of music is rock. So
Starr will look at the paper as well and say, well, I know Beyonce's a rock musician. And he'll tap at the paper and he'll rub his hands through his hair and say, all of these things are tied to our magic. It's certain musical abilities are tied to certain styles of magic. And yeah, Beyonce is definitely a rock musician. I think we need to, when we go to the auditions today, maybe we should look for her. And even though this goes against everything in me, maybe we should even warn her. And then he'll look at Black Powder and say, and he'll think about the Batgirl and say, BP, do you think your friend is going to be there?
I know she will. She's intended to audition. She's a country singer.
Who has been kidnapped so far?
Plenty.
Do we know their musical styles?
Broken Oath is rap and hip hop, which makes sense because all of the donuts was definitely Conjuration.
Mm-hmm.
And and then the Albatross group, they were soul and R&B, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are the only ones that you're aware of that disappeared that you're aware of.
Can we do more research and get more specifics on the other groups that have vanished so we can figure out if there's a pattern there? I know they all came from, most of them are related to that show, but if we can find holes in maybe the types of magic they're trying to collect, it can give us a clue on who their next victim might be.
What type of magic is going to make somebody's mind wipe too? Because that's whoever's doing that is.
I mean,
whoever got that Mariah.
I was going to say, didn't you say, Starr, that Beyonce woman's with Davy Deals?
Yes.
What if she's in it with it? What if she's a part of it? Do we really want to let her know we're onto something if she is?
What is the magic? What is the type of magic that deals with the mind, like my psychic abilities?
Yours is science, not magic, right, Frankie?
I don't know, to be honest.
But from what Tori was saying, it was all kind of that classical music, Frankie. Kind of fits.
So, did any of what I brought help at all? Shepard asks. Hopefully.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, good, because you're all way smarter than I am, so I'm just gonna leave this up to you all. But man, if there's anything that I can do at all to bring Lady Matilda back, you just tell me, because she means everything to me, and I know she means everything to Starr too.
Starr will walk up to Shepard and hold his hand, but like in brotherly, like a brotherly handhold, like, yeah, we're gonna get her back, we'll find her. And Starr was like, perhaps we should practice for this afternoon to make sure that if we're successful, we can get in. And maybe whoever gets us in, however we get in, maybe we could find some maybe we can get some more clues, get some more information. Maybe we should ask questions. I don't know. I'm terrible at investigating. So he'll look back at Sam.
No, you're doing the right thing here. Getting more information and being able to act on it is exactly what we need.
This feels like a nightmare. And I just really want to wake up.
What was the name of the jazzy trio that was singing?
Is it the Chromatics?
The Chromatics. Yes, they are jazz. Yes.
Starr, what kind of music do you technically do?
I'm more of pop.
Okay. Just to be safe.
Will the Chromatics be at the show, at the audition?
Well, we can call and ask, but
Just to be sure they're safe.
yeah, from the sounds of it, this is a big deal. anybody who's anybody musically attends to it.
Yeah, maybe you can call and make sure they're safe. I'd hate to think anything would happen to them. They were kind of cute.
Yeah, but if we have too many people pull out, then it may draw more suspicion on ourselves. I think when we're there, we can keep a better eye on them than letting them know to act strange or anything. We don't want to upset the apple cart.
That's true. It's like you tell them to warn them and then be on our side, but then it's like obvious.
Yeah. You got to keep things on the down low.
Do we know what kind of music we're going to be performing? I was suspecting it's pop because that Starr would be singing over us, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I still think there might be a pattern with the style of music they're trying to collect. I wish we knew more about the other bands that were taken.
Yeah.
Veed speaks up and says, so why does Lady Matilda have this list in the first place? Or how is that connected to anything?
But Starr, did Lady Matilda have any other children that she looked after?
Yeah. Starr would be like, I'm an orphan, so I grew up at Bloomingdale's. It's the largest orphanage in Sealy Court City. My first memories are there. And Lady Matilda has always been my friend and teacher. Shep, you remember, because me and Shep has been there for like forever. And there were other kids there. There was a few other pixies, a few elves, a couple of dwarves, a few foxes. Like there were tons of kids there, but none of them really showed any musical abilities. That was just really me. Yeah.
But that was years ago now, right?
Yeah.
Maybe she started noticing a pattern in some of the other kids she's been looking after. Started making note of it.
Maybe.
A lot of kids go through, come across, don't want to say anomalies, that sounds rude, but you know what I mean.
I do.
So Lady Matilda had this list?
Yeah.
Just out of game, were there any other notes associated with this list? Did she have any side notes or comments or anything to it? It was just a clean list?
Just a clean list. It looks like it was actually torn out of something. Maybe like from a notebook. Torn out of a notebook, maybe.
So Lady Matilda knew all of this about the magic and music?
It would seem that way.
If somebody's kidnapping a whole bunch of musical people, then it sounds like this Lady Matilda is very knowledgeable about it and would be a really good asset for them.
That's true.
Starr will walk up and look at the snake skin and say, the only person I can think of that has any skin like this is Davy Deals. But why would he come after Lady Matilda? And then, after hearing everything, Starr will be like, if Lady Matilda knows about magic, Davy Deals must be after her through me somehow. But why, I don't know. And he'll hand Sam back the snake skin and say, I'm usually not like this, but I want to go in guns a-blazing.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Why don't we take a moment to think about this a little bit? And he'll go over to the tacos and starts handing out tacos to everyone.
Nice.
Like, maybe we think better with food in our stomachs. And
I agree with that, Veed immediately says. And he will help himself to some tacos.
What exactly do you mean by guns a-blazing, Starr? Like, throw away our where the bait plan and just go in? Like, some details would be nice.
Well, kind of. I just want to storm into Davy Dill's office and demand where Mother Matilda is. I know that's not going to help us. I just want answers, and I want her home. I want my family back, and I want us away from all of this BS. And Stormy, you mind if we sneak away for a second? I just need to get my head centered. Everyone, please enjoy your tacos. Energy, he'll look at her and say, be nice to Black Powder.
Yes, Mr. Starr, sir, she says begrudgingly. Stormy is going to take you to, I guess, to your master bedroom, I guess, to talk.
Yeah.
And, he's going to face you and just put his, rub his hands on your shoulders. And then he says, are you sure you want to go to this audition? We can still record your voice, and they can still lip sync with the recording. Part of me actually would prefer that you stayed here with me. Or if you don't think that it's safe to be in our apartment, we can be somewhere else, but not at the auditions.
Stormy, I know it's stupid for me to say this, but I need to be there. Because if there's a chance that she's there, or we could hear something, or maybe, because I'll be backstage and I'll be with you and I'll be safe. Just as long as I'm there, we owe it to her. Can't. And I know you're thinking of my best interest, but it would be the coward's move to stay home or away. Please don't think I'm thinking badly of you because you want to keep me safe, but babe, I have to be there. I have to. Do you understand?
He looks at you, and you can tell that he's very conflicted, because part of him wants to say something else, but the other part of him wants to respect your decision. And so he just kind of looks down, and then, then he finally looks up again, and he says, if that's what you want, if you truly believe that is the best course of action, then we'll go to auditions together. And as I said, I am keeping you within my sight at all times. You are not to be more than 6 feet away from me the entire time.
Don't worry, I'll stay close. But Starr will reach up and touch his jaw and stroke it and say, I know there's something else in your mind, Stormy. I can see those storm clouds are brewing. Speak what you feel. Be truthful.
If I was being honest, all of these disappearances are very troublesome and worrisome. And I know deep in my heart that we will find Lady Matilda. I know we will. I just wish I knew how. Because right now, I'm at a loss, and fortunately, it sounds like your friends seem to have some knowledge as to what steps to move forward with.
Starr, but yeah, Sam he's a really good investigator, and Tori's really good with magic. Black Powder's good at planning things, and, well, I'm just gonna be honest with you. You do not want Frankie to punch you. That's all.
I pretty much determined that as soon as I met him.
Yeah. So, do you know of any other groups that might have disappeared? Anything that might shed light, Stormy?
I made some calls before, and I tried to do some of my own investigating, and there have been, of course, disappearances back during the last season of Musical Idol, but now that the next season is about to begin, these disappearances are starting to happen, are just beginning to happen again, and I can only imagine it might just keep getting worse as the season progresses, assuming they are tied to the show.
Any correlation to their musical talents? Maybe Black Powder was onto something.
Well, now that you mentioned it, the last time this was happening, I think approximately 8 groups did disappear. And now that you mention it, it was one from each genre. One group from each genre.
So one group from each genre. And so far, the Broken Oath was rap. They were summoning. Okay.
The Albatross group is divination.
Divination. Yeah. So it looks like they're rebuilding their list, or rebuilding or recapturing the same styles of music.
So what you're saying is, hopefully, it means that, well, I would hate to see this as a silver lining because it's not, but at least in terms of groups that are in danger, most likely it will not be a hip-hop or soul and R&B group next, most likely.
Right. Oh my God. Black Powder's new friend, she's in danger. She's country.
Do you think we should warn her? Or do we think we should stick with Sam's plan about not revealing anything to anyone so that nobody becomes suspicious?
You can see Starr like trying to run everything through his head. He's like, damn it, I'm not an investigator. But I honestly, that's the best plan we have. And I don't want to lead anyone to their slaughter, but I don't know, maybe. But if we stay too close, if we tip our hand, we could ruin everything. So the only thing we can do is let the show proceed as normal, follow Sam's plan, and hopefully everything works out. Yeah?
Again, as long as you're with me the whole time, I will support whatever it is you all decide to do.
He'll walk up to Stormy and grab his face and say, babe, I'm freaking glue. And he'll kiss him on the mouth and say, let's get back to the group. I think we might have a silver lining, so to speak. So they'll go back out and Starr will relay what Stormy just shared with him with all of you.
Well, we got a little bit of time before the show starts. Tonight, I'm out of smokes. Why doesn't everybody start practicing? And Frankie and I'll run to the store real quick and give me some smokes. Yeah, Frankie, you good with that?
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, Sam, do you need pipe tobacco? I still got a bit.
Oh no, that's too heavy.
Weakling.
Yeah, well, I like them pre-rolled. So on the way to the store, I want to get down a bit. And then just not even looking at him, but just walking next to Frankie. I'm just going to say, so tell me about what you weren't telling me about, if you don't mind. Just it could help.
What are you talking about?
Well, I got a nose for news. I know something was going on a little bit with you and Tori. I'm just hoping that, it's nothing that could surprise us or be a challenge to us. Just want to get the whole scoop.
Okay. I'll tell you, but we did see those murder unicorns. You know, that death metal group?
Yeah.
And I think with that list, it is true. They do like necromagic stuff.
So you saw them play and didn't want to say?
Well, we lost them. They were too fast. They just quickly got in their van and like left, and all they did, we saw like the end, they were like with zombies or skeletons or dead bodies, and then they controlled them, and then they just left. It was crazy, and then we just could not catch them.
Am I buying it? Let me do a...
Yeah, you might need to do another deception because it's not fully. You're telling the truth, but it's not the full
All right,
truth.
I have to do an intelligence check again. Let's see if I can roll well.
Oh, I got
Oh, pretty close.
It was close, but
12.
It's close.
it's both close on both of us.
Yeah, but isn't Frankie? It doesn't. Don't you have something where you have to tell the truth so it doesn't
I
get a penalty?
don't. So that's Tori.
That's just
Tori.
me.
It's Tori that does that. I am just I just don't have that skill.
All right, I'm just gonna. What I will say is that for Sam, you can tell that he's pretty much everything that he's saying is true, but he's still like withholding information. There's more to the story than what he's saying.
All right. And then, yeah, I'm gonna just leave it there and grab my smokes from the corner store and then head back.
Part of me wanted Sam to be like, okay, listen, dollface. I wanted you to do dollface Frankie. That's okay.
Frankie's too big for me.
True.
True.
And then, yeah, on the way back, I'll just say, well, just know that you can say things like that. You can say that you messed up. It's okay. Sometimes mess ups lead to solutions. They allow other people to help along the way, and sometimes you don't have to have all the answers and achieve the end goal. With you, especially, you're very capable, as is Tori. That doesn't mean you're perfect. Just know that that's okay.
Okay. And you can see his color turn almost like, I guess, a shade that just shows that he's just embarrassed by this whole thing. And it's like, okay, Sam, like, for the next time. And he'll join you. He kind of defaults to your wisdom.
And then when we get back to the apartment, I definitely want to kind of give Black Powder a little bit. Definitely make sure Black Powder knows that for Taylor, we're going to be keeping an eye on, because with the country genre being open, rest assured that we're going to be keeping an eye open, but don't tip anything off.
Yeah, she already knows a bit. We literally went to her apartment to scope out the apartment above her where somebody disappeared. She knows something's up.
Yeah, not very subtle. That's okay.
She's a smart lass. I don't think she needs to know anything more that she's specifically in danger, but she knows there's risks to auditioning. But she's still deciding to audition.
Pros are, once we help Starr get his mom back, there's going to be a good opportunity that we either go home or go back to that room. I know Tori's sister is missing, and that's on my mind a lot. I'm kind of torn right now, because see, what I need help with isn't as important. Is someone missing from your ship?
No. Not when I left. I mean, we were having a bit of celebration because we got out of a very interesting encounter at sea. Kafkins are a weird thing. But everyone was fine. People were drinking and happy, and the crew was working fine. We were on our way to our destination. I was on my way back down to the galley.
I know you've said before that you don't have parents and kids and everything, but who could end up in the drink that you would be most concerned about?
I mean, probably Jim, like, just because he's a young lad who's still finding his sea legs. But even then, like, I hate to say it, but that's life on the sea. If somebody falls overboard, we help them out. That's what we do. If they're lost, we handle who's alive and we keep moving and we mourn them later. Life on the sea doesn't give much time for panic or taking time to mourn lost ones.
I gotta say, having a level head has definitely helped in a few pinches here, so.
And I know I can come off as cold, but
I think it's wise.
I just think it goes to show how different some of our lives have been.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not in any rush to get back to me home right now. We were on the sea, on our way to a destination. No one was in immediate danger. And from the looks of it, time pretty much stopped. So if we go back to where I left, then the only thing we'd worry about is all of us suddenly being in the ship's galley, which is not very big.
Well,
it's pretty crowded.
when that happens, we'll have to have Frankie duck for sure.
And Taylor's probably going to have to wear some different clothes.
Yeah. Well, we do change too, so maybe that'll help.
Maybe. I was thinking, because I do worry about Taylor. Maybe after the auditions, maybe I can ask Starr and see if he'd be okay with her staying over here, because we are dating. It would be weird for her to come spend the night. Right? That wouldn't be out of the ordinary.
What?
Just so we can keep an eye on her here. After the auditions.
Yeah. She can shack up with Tori.
Aye. And I was just thinking no one would think it weird if she was coming to visit, that's all.
Visiting, yeah, okay,
Aye.
yeah.
What do you think I meant?
Well, I mean...
I already thought Tori and Frankie were the progressive ones.
Well, you see, they have couples beds for a reason, right?
I know. I've been with a couple. I've been around.
I just want to make sure things like that are sometimes best for marriage with,
Who can afford a marriage?
Well, I'll tell you, Justice of Peace is pretty good option. Doesn't have to be a fancy thing.
Again, I think our time periods are a bit different. Where I'm from, my lane of work, free love is all we got.
I better go talk to Tori and make sure she's she's doing okay.
Right. Sam, while you're at it, I mean this with all the love in the world, pull that stick out of your arse. You need to listen up a bit.
That deserves a song.
Learn how to smoke
Right?
some proper tobacco while you're at it.
That's it. Yeah.
But that pop his flask, take a drink, and go, geesh.
All of you probably just hear Black Powder laughing.
Oh my god. This session is like, it should be titled The Burns.
Burns.